Hi, boys and girls.
We're at our garage and test facility. Let's roll out a vehicle and see what we're driving today. Looks like they sent us a Mazda 6 sedan with a nice red paint job on top of that. The styling looks pretty good. I have gotten a few compliments on it since it's been parked out here. Here's a view from the rear. Again, decent looking. The base price of a Mazda 6 runs around $22,000, but I could tell just by looking at this it's loaded up with a lot more goodies and will cost a lot more. So let's look at the price sheet. I'm sorry, I call this red paint. It's Soul Red Crystal paint. Pardon me. And this is the top of the line Signature Edition, which is supposed to come loaded up with everything. Standard equipment, no options. That's why the price jumped from $22,000 to $34,750 grand. But as usual, they just had to tack on a few minor options, which should have been standard. $75 for a cargo mat. Come on, shouldn't that be standard on a Signature Edition? That's supposed to have everything as standard. Then $595 for this paint, and $125 for this little doodad I won't even mention. Let's just go down to the price. There you go. Fully loaded, $36,435. But at least for the money, you're getting a genuine Japanese vehicle made in the country of Japan by Japanese workers, not in some third world country. That's worth a few bucks extra, I would think. Among the standard equipment are these fancy LED headlights. We'll take these out in the dark and see how they do. We'll do that right now, as we do in all of our videos. It's dark enough. Let's see how these headlights perform. Look pretty bright. Might help if we turn them back on, huh? Here we have the low beams on a wall 100 feet away. Very bright. Low ride height. Go to high beam. Looks pretty bright. Here we have the high beams on a building 300 feet away. Lights up pretty good. Good wide spread. Go to low beam. Cutoff is rather short, around 225 feet. Adequate for city driving. When in the backcountry, you're going to need the brights. And since these are deluxe headlights, they turn with the steering wheel. As you can see. So you live somewhere where there are tight corners, or maybe tight mountain roads, this really comes in handy. By the way, these swivel headlights, while fantastic, are very expensive to replace. Don't break them. They'll cost you a fortune to repair. There are two engines available with the Mazda 6. A non-turbo 4-cylinder putting out 187 horsepower, or what we see here, a 2.5 4-cylinder turbo putting out 227 horsepower with 87 octane, or with 91 octane you can boost it up to 250 horsepower. This was already delivered with 87 octane by the driver, so that's what we'll be using for this test. Trust me when I tell you with 87 octane fuel, this vehicle is pretty quick enough as it is. I'm not complaining. There's a 6-speed manual transmission listed in the catalog. I understand that only comes with the base engine, not the turbos, in which case you get a 6-speed automatic, as seen here. You can shift manually by pushing the stick to the left, or you can shift manually using the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which is a better place to put them than on the steering column like the Italians do. On the steering wheel you can reach it regardless of steering wheel position, going straight, taking corners. Paddle shifters belong on the steering wheel. If you want to leave it in drive and go quick, there's always a sport mode. Just click the magic button. Since we're sitting in the cabin, we might as well take a closer look. Very well done. Materials and workmanship, what you expect from a Japanese-made vehicle. The glove box isn't the largest, but it will do, especially if you take the owner's manual out, stick it in the trunk. You'll have plenty of room then. The auto-dimming mirror can be turned off just by pressing a button. We get a nice, easy to read gauge cluster. I'm told there are 3 different choices available. They won't all look like this. Very simple to use climate controls. Lots of useful storage between the seats. In an attempt to copy BMW, we have a control knob for all the functions. By the way, pardon the dust, but it's the desert. We have dust storms out here. Just move the magic knob. And of course, navigation. The second row seating has decent room. Plenty of room in this rear trunk. Yes, there is a real spare tire under there. The rocker panels under the door are thin. You will not be rubbing your pant legs on the bodywork. And since the door covers up this, the bodywork stays clean and so do your pants. This is the way it should be. I did have one complaint with the heads-up display. It's rather bright outside. It's hard to see on the camera, but here you go. I don't want it. I don't want to look at this. I want to turn it off. So I got on the computer, active driving display. I turn it off. Now it goes away. Problem is, every time you restart the car, it pops up again. There's just no way to turn this off. I've looked at the owner's manual. If you know a way, leave a comment in the section, but I just can't get it done. So, there are several alternatives to this. I tried sticking a rag in the display hole. They got rid of the HUD display, but now I see a reflection of the rag, which is worse. Time to go to plan B. So I got on the screen, I turned the brightness all the way down to 0. And just to make sure I don't see it, I rotated it all the way up out of my line of sight. And now it finally went away. If you're driving a Mazda 6, you don't want to look at that. That's how you get rid of it. Apparently the only way. Alright, that's enough show and tell. We're going to go out and do some driving, racking up around 500 miles to get some performance and fuel economy figures. The Mazda 6 steering is excellent. It's not only quick and responsive, but it has good feel and feedback. It feels hydraulic, but I'm told it's electric, so that's a rather nice accomplishment. You'll like it. This engine has plenty of power, even with a 6-speed automatic transmission. No lack of passing ability. Got a bit of wheel chirping there. This is a very smooth and quiet engine, as well as being fast. Pretty good brakes, too. You'll need them. There is one minor gripe I have. If you noticed how the dash reflects into the windshield, it only happens on extremely sunny days and at certain angles, but it is annoying. You'll get used to it, though. Like we do in all our vehicles, we take speed bumps around 25 to 30 miles per hour to judge the impact on suspension parts. We posted a security guard out there today to make people obey the 15 mile per hour speed limit, but he's just going to have to tackle and arrest me. Here we go at 25 miles per hour, speed bump number 1. Very smooth. Speed bump number 2. Smooth. We're in the regular mode, by the way, not the sport mode. Number 3, and here's the big nasty one. Ooh, felt that one. Don't want to hit you. Imagine the damage you do to my bumper. With quick steering, nice brakes, good handling. This is often referred to as a poor man's BMW by many car testers. It is fun to drive. Let's take a corner and see if we can spin this out. bit of body lean, but it's holding pretty good. If Mazda could just find a way to get another 100 horsepower under the hood and beef up the suspension a little bit, you'd have some good competition for the BMW 2 and 3 Series, but that's not going to happen. This engine has plenty of passing power as it is. It's a lot more fun to drive than the Toyotas or Hondas I've driven lately. Tomorrow we're going to take this out and do some fuel economy tests, about 400 miles worth, so you'll want to stay tuned. So far we've been getting around 20 miles per gallon in heavy city traffic. We're going to reset this, do some highway driving. This is a nice car to drive on freeway trips. Comfortable ride, low wind noise, good seats. Looks pretty good to me. Well, 60 miles, 28.0 mpg, 75 mile per hour cruising. I'd say it's pretty good. More to come. We're going to do another highway fuel economy test. This will be a bit longer, from city to city, around 100 miles, 75 miles per hour at the minimum. We finally reached our next major city destination. We're going to pull over and see what our fuel economy was. 101 freeway miles, 30.3 mpg. Again, pretty good. We're going to do a return highway trip. That means one more fuel economy test. Then we're done. So let's do it. We're coming back into town. We'll pull over and see what our fuel economy was. Okay, we got 30 miles per gallon coming to, 31.9 coming back. That's an average of 31 mpg for our freeway driving. Pretty close to the EPA claims, so we don't have anything to complain about. We're pretty close to reaching my goal of 500 miles. We'll tap that out tomorrow. Then it'll be time to wrap up this video. So what's my take on driving this Mazda 6 for a week? Personally, I prefer the basic model without all the fluff, but you know what? If you want a Mazda 6 loaded with everything, go right ahead. You won't be disappointed. It's a nice car. Here's some links to other sedans we've driven. Just click and watch.